Good afternoon, dear educators. Thank you for joining us on the webinar series on Google's Be Internet Awesome program. Very happy and proud to introduce our today's host and facilitator and your mentor through this journey, a thought leader in technology, integration and strategy, Ms. 𝗕𝗲 𝗓𝗲𝗔𝗲. Ms. 𝗕𝗲 𝗓𝗲𝗔𝗲 is not an unknown name. She is the CEO and founder of Mahattattva, which is an educational transformational company. She is an educationist par excellence, and her heart lies where there is growth in teachers, and that is why she is a leader when it comes to technology integration. Yes, she wears many hats. Her journey included being the leader for ICT at the British School and also the head of ICT initiatives at Learn Today, which was a part of the India Today group. She has been in this field for the last 20 years and counting now. She is also a BET Asia Leadership Awardee. At present, she is immersed in working with Google India on CBSE and NCERT projects for teacher trainings. Over to you, 𝗕𝗲 ma'am.
Thank you so much, Pramukda, and thank you so much for that. And I will start the session for today. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining in. This is our webinar 1, Cohort 2. So we've had a complete circle of the Cohort 1 and some amazing people we have met, and a lot of them are now working towards certification for their own selves and for their students, and we will get you started on that process in a minute. We will have this webinar in two sections. So there will be a session today for an hour, and then we will have a repeat. The dates and the timings will be shared with you. We will also have follow-up sessions, because the webinars have a lot of people online and you can't have a one-to-one interaction with us. So we will be giving you that support by sending you meet links according to your cohorts, and you will be able to talk to a lot of us at Mahattattva for your queries and for challenges that you're facing for your certification. So if I could request Kajal to please share my screen. Thank you so much, Kajal. So here we are. You are all aware, you have got the invites, you have got the CBSE circular. This program is the vision of this huge body called CBSE and of course Google, the Be Internet Awesome program. And you will be getting certification jointly by CBSE and Google. But I think for any educator, what is more important is the way that we transact a program, any program for that matter. And in this case, it is something which is of paramount importance in today's world, where the children are getting online, whether it's on their own devices or their parents' devices or in school. And I think in today's age, we have to understand that each educator has the responsibility to ensure that each and every child, even if they're not doing anything technical like Python or Java or whatever language they're learning or coding that they're doing, in every subject area they are researching. In every subject area they are creating stuff, they're looking at information online. So all the children who are there in your classroom need to be aware of what are the rules that they need to go by. So when you have something as vast as the cyberspace in front of you, even we get intimidated sometimes. We don't know what is the right thing to do and what is not. But I think if we talk to our children and we get them to understand that it's okay There are certain rules. If you follow them, you'll be all right. And as an adult, I'm always there by your side. So every educator today needs to take that pledge that I will get the children aware. I will make them, very, very empowered to be able to go onto this cyberspace and look for things that are there. So this program, of course, is very beautifully made, and you will see as we go on with the resources. And how have we structured it is something that is very important. Please listen in, because there are going to be questions, there are going to be queries, there are going to be challenges. I can understand that, because there's some schools which are very remote, they don't have the internet facility. Some of the people have the computers, some don't have computers, some of the parents don't have devices. So all those kind of things will be there. But when you have something as progressive as the Be Internet Awesome curriculum in front of you, I'm sure you will innovate. And I will tell you stories as I go, how people have made this possible in their own schools. We have done a pilot already. So some of you here will know that we did a pilot with COE Delhi West, Delhi East, and Noida. And we had more than 3,000 children who actually were certified. So it is something which is absolutely doable. We did a pilot to see that. And that's the reason now full scale we are coming on to you. So before, I think Pramukta has already introduced me, but before we go on to the program, I want to tell you that there is a huge support team available for you. We will be there with you, hand-holding, supporting you as you go through this journey of implementing this curriculum in your classrooms. And we will make sure that when you contact us, and I will show you the channels as to how you can contact us. When you contact us, there will be somebody on the other end to lend that hand to you. So there's me. I will be doing these webinars, and also I will be available to you in the office hours from 5 to 6 p.m. every day, Monday through Friday. There is Manu. Manu is an expert tech person, and she will be there to support you. And right now she's writing comments on the YouTube stream. Just a word of caution here. We did write that in your email as well. If you are observing or having a look at this webinar on a mobile, please make sure that you have the app. You are using the YouTube app to see this webinar, because you will not be able to access the comments if you are watching it on the Chrome. And you will also not be able to access the attendance sheet, which Manu will be putting for you in the chat box for the YouTube. So make sure that you have the app for YouTube when you are looking at this webinar. We have Pramukta. You met her just now. She introduced me. Absolutely smashing in her work, and very systematic. So she will make sure that all the data is handled well. We have Ashima, another expert, an ex-principal who is with us and will be supporting you in the office hours. In the office hours, you will also have Sonali, Kajal. Kajal has again a very technical bent of mine, and of course Pooja, who makes sure that all the communication is coming through to you. Please remember, these are the names you will find at the other end of the phone, or WhatsApp group, or Google group, or whatever that you're trying to get in touch with. The program, of course, is amazing, but the support is something that you need to know that this is where you will go for support. So the program runs as follows. So these are the steps. Now, these steps are also there in a website that we have created for you, and I will be sharing that website, and Manu will be putting the link to that website on the YouTube chat. But please understand, how are you going to get certified? So the program is there, the curriculum is there, very well developed. There is gamification, there are lots of resources that we put for you. But what do you need to do? So for getting certified, you need to attend these 2 webinars. So like I told you, one is today and the subsequent one will happen later in the week. You will be attending these webinars. After you've attended the webinars, the Q&A sessions will also be there in the evenings, or I would say early evening, 3:30 to 4:30, same timing where you can come in. This is on YouTube live. That will be on Google Meet. So you can, unmute yourself and ask the questions that you want. So we will be able to address your question answers there. So you have to attend 2 webinars. There is an attendance sheet which will be given to you towards the end of this session. So if there are questions as to where the attendance sheet is, don't worry. The attendance sheet will come up at the end of the session, and it will close at 8 p.m. So please make sure that you give your attendance before 8 p.m. for this webinar. Then you will read the resources which have been given to you on the Google site, and I will show you the site just now. After you have read, you have to use those resources and train your children. So we are looking at every teacher going out and training at least 100 students. There are 5 units to this program, and they are very beautifully documented in the curriculum booklet. And what you need to do is you need to create this program and deliver it to the children just the way we are doing it for you. Assess them on the skills, and fill up the form, the completion form, and submit it to us. And all that, the resources and all that is coming up in a minute. So I will start with attend the 2 webinars, read the resources on the website, use the resources and train 100 students. You have to create a video of 2 minutes of the evidence of what intervention you have done in your school regarding the cyber security, regarding Be Internet Awesome. Then you have to submit this with the 100 children, and you will be given an assessment to do as the last step for the certification. And post that, and that certification is, you can do it as many times so that you have the knowledge every time you do it. And by the time you are done with once or twice, you can do multiple attempts, and you get 75% on that, and the certification will be issued not only to you but to your students as well. So that's the step. Attend the 2 webinars, read the resources, implement the program, make the 2-minute video, upload the names and the video on the form which is given to you, and your certification will be done after your assessment. So these are the steps, and these are going to be there in your website as well. Please have a look at this. There are Telegram groups, there are Google groups, there is this email ID. Please make note of it, biasupport@mahattattva.in. This is something where you can write in your queries. There is also a provision of the office hours where I will be available 5 to 6 to take any queries one-to-one that you may have of the program. And where is all this resource kept, and what is this thing that I'm talking about? I'm just going to go and take you to the website. So this is the website that we have created for you, and I will request Manu to put this website in the chat, so people who are on bigger devices like a laptop or a desktop can open this up as I speak. If you are on the phone, please bookmark it, and you can have a look at that later. So this is the website that we've created. We've given you an introduction on digital citizenship. What does this program mean? So this is a universal global program which is running all over the world, and endorsed by ISTE, that is the International Society for Technology in Education, and CBSE and Google has got this to India for the CBSE schools. So a beautiful program, and you all are going to be part of this as the first batch of teachers who are going to be trained for this. We have a little note on the facilitators that you already know who we are. The schedule, of course, is here. And in the schedule, you can see that whatever is the next follow-up or the webinar, you can see it on this chart. So if I click on this one here, you are on 27th, we have the webinar. So we have the webinar happening for Series 1 Cohort 2, that is you. And at 5 p.m. are the office hours. So you can see all that is mapped for you in the calendar. If you keep going ahead to the different months, you can see all that is slotted for you. But what you need to attend is just this webinar today. Then you have to do the follow-up tomorrow. Then there is, some of you will be doing the follow-up tomorrow. Some of you will do it on Monday. But on 29th, so 27th and 29th are the two webinars that this group needs to attend. So these are the two that you need to do to say, yes, you were present in these two webinars and you heard what needs to be done. So the follow-ups, of course, are on, half of them on 28th and half of them on 1st. You will get an email and the Telegram notification as to when you have to join, along with the link for it. So don't worry on that. Pooja, Manu and Pramukda have got that sorted, and they will be telling you when to come in. So this is your schedule, just for you to remember. You can have a look at the schedule here. The most important are these three tabs. So I'm going on to resources now. So this is the complete curriculum. So if I look at this, this is 139 page of an amazing curriculum which you can use from grade 2 to grade 12. Now here in the curriculum, it says grade 2 to grade 6. But in the pilot that we ran, we had people who actually went up till grade 12, and they've done some brilliant activities in the classroom. So this is something which is there for you. And like I said, there are 5 units and they go unit wise. And we will be looking at 3 units today. And then we look at the 2 units later on Friday when we meet. What I want to tell you here is that this resource is 139 pages. I want you to, skim whenever you are, relaxing and you just want to skim through. Just go on to these 139 pages. Even if you are a PE teacher or a music teacher, these resources which are given along with the activities are super amazing. They are absolutely outstanding. So even if you don't deal with the sciences or the maths or whatever, these are some things that you can pair up with a maths teacher or a science teacher or a computer teacher and get into the classrooms, do these activities with the children, because as a school there is so much you can do for cybersecurity, and this booklet will give you lots and lots of ideas to get on and do these activities with the children. We will be doing this booklet in the next webinar, that is on Friday. So I'm just going to look at the resources and I'm going to take you back to the website. So this is where the entire curriculum is kept, and then we've split it into units. So the 5 units, you will see if I click on this section here, it gives me just the unit 1. So what are the units? And it says it's for grade 2 to 6. But like I said, you can take it up till class 11th and 12th as well. We have one of the teachers who joined 3 days back has already done his certification in Jalandhar, a certain Mr. Aditya. So what he did was, he didn't want to do it for a particular class. So what he did, because he wanted to create student leaders in across the classes, so from 8 to 12, he asked children to join in a WhatsApp group. The children joined in the WhatsApp group. He gave them notes per unit, and every time he would give a unit, the children would read that. So he flipped his classroom, and then he gave the assessments, the Google Forms that we have given for student assessment to them, and he's already completed in 5 days in the entire week. So 2 days last week and 3 days in this week. Today he has said that he has already done the assembly in school for the entire program, and his assessment is ready. So he will get a certificate and the 137 children that he has trained. So that's one of the success stories that we have already for the program that we have started. So you will see that the unit 1 is there. When I go on to this link here, it will give me the slide deck. So if I look at this link which is here, you will see that all the resources that I need to use with the children are here. They are absolutely available, free of cost. They are just links which you can go on to. And even if you don't have projectors or you don't have internet in your class, you can see this on the phone. You can create your own notes and you can teach the children what this means. The real idea is for you to be aware of what this program is and to be able to implement it to the children as well. Get them empowered so that when they go online, you are relaxed that they know what to do. They are responsible for their own learning and they know how to handle that. So this is how you will get the resources. So that's the link on the website here. This one here is vocabulary. So in case you want to, even after your assessment is done and you want to carry on the program in the school, there is a link here for getting vocabulary. So when you click on it, you will get something like this where it says use the content. So it will make a copy for you. So if I go on here, it will give me the vocabulary that I want to teach for that particular topic. So right now, you can see this is a copy that has got created. Share with care is the first unit. And you can see that the terms which are written are editable. So I can edit these as I want. Once I do all the vocabulary charts, I can start the game. So this is gamification for you, for your children. You can start the factory. So this is built in a way as if, the children are workers and you are working in a factory which is creating flashcards. So you can go ahead, get the children to join this. And you see here that the children will be divided into two groups, the night shift and the day shift. So the day shift group and the night shift group, and the children's names will come up. And when you say let's play, you will see that the words will come up. The vocabulary words will come up. The children will get their flashcards. They will create it. And once they submit it, it will come and land on this belt, which is conveyor belt, which is moving here in front. So once that is done, once the cards have come up here, you can go to quality control. Here, the cards will show up because right now, nobody's producing the cards. Here, the cards will get made up and you will say, okay, this is the correct way. So we can put it into shipping and we can take it ahead. So this is gamification when you're playing in a room where computers are available. If this is not available, not possible, there are lots of other resources which you can use in the booklet for the children to use. After you've done with the unit, the interactive deck, the vocabulary deck, there is a game that you can get the children to play for all the units but for the 5th unit. So this is a game called the Mindful Mountain for Unit 1, that is Share with Care. So you get the children to play. The children go in and the questions are such that the children are assessed on the unit number 1. So even if you don't have a very elaborate form of assessing the children, this is something that you can do with them in the computer class or if you have devices in your own classroom. So children do this. At the end, a beautiful certificate comes up. Children can write their name and they can get certified on this. So this is for all the units. You have 1, 2, 3, 4 resources. So you have the PDF for the unit. You have the decks to play with the children. You have the vocabulary that the children can play with, and you have the gamification. So you have 4 resources for each unit that has been designed by Be Internet Awesome, except for the last one. Like I said, the game is not there in the last unit. But what you can do here is we can click on assessments, and you will see that in assessments, there are assessment 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the 5 units, which we have already created for you. So when you click on that, it will ask you, do you want to make a copy? Because we don't want everybody getting access to the same Google form and all the data going in one form. So we have structured it such a way that each one of you will be able to make a copy. So once you click on make a copy, it will go and create a copy, a Google form copy in your drive for you. And you can use this assessment by clicking on send to your students or whatever, and they will be able to see this form and they will be able to do it. Of course, when you do this with the children, the responses will come to you here, and you can also extract it in the Excel sheet by clicking on this icon here. I'm sure a lot of you know how Google Forms work. If you don't know, I've just narrated it for you. You open up the questions. These are the questions. This is how you share, by clicking on send and adding the students' emails, or sending them the link from here. You can just send it to their parents' mobiles and they can do it on the parents' mobile. So this is how you can share it. Or you can get this on the board, on one board, or you can write the questions that you see here, and you can get the children to do this in the notebook. If you do not have devices in the classroom for the children to use, you can use notebooks as well. The idea is the learning objectives, the goals which are set for the particular unit should be done by the children, should be understood by the children. So you will have assessments here. So I'm going back to the website. So there are 5 kind of assessments here for the 5 units. And finally, we have the form wherein you have to now say that your work is done and you have trained the 100 children. You have created the 2-minute video. So you will be clicking on this one here, student training completion form, and you will be filling that up. So what is the name of the school? What is your COE? All of that. And here you will upload your video, your 2-minute video, to show to us that your course is done and your children are ready. And you will upload the list of 100 children here. Now I'm not limiting you to 100 children. So we have Smita Jain from DPS Varanasi, who says she's going to do 6th, 7th, 8th, all 3 classes, all 6 sections of the 3 classes, and she's going to get along with another teacher, and they're going to do the entire middle school for more than 400 to 500 children. So the minimum amount is 100. If you think that you can get more children trained, it's entirely up to you, but the minimum amount is 100. So do the good deed. If you can, go out of your own school as well and train some children where the facilities are not there. You can just take that booklet and you can get the children to understand what cybersecurity is. Now you are attending the webinar today, so you have 60 days to finish this certification. So there's ample time. The schools have just started, and you can do things, use your own creative minds, and you can do this entire thing in maybe 20 days time. But it is up to you how you want to take it. You have 60 days to submit it. So if I go back to the website, this is the assessment done. So I'm moving on to the FAQs now. So if you look at the FAQ section, you will see the infographic that I showed you right at the beginning. So what did I mean by the certification? What are the steps of the certification? They're all there. These are the sample certificates. So this is yours, a teacher's certificate. What will it look like with the Google and the CBSE stamp on it? And this is the student certificate. The student will also get a certificate. Each student whom you certify, whom you train, will be certified by us. Then we have the FAQs that most of you would want to ask us. So the FAQs so if you click on the drop down, you will be able to see the answers. So they are all there before the certification, during the certification, and when your certification is being done. So all is there. The BIA is Be Internet Awesome Help Desk. So we have the email which I told you. The email is written here. There is a phone number for the timings 3:30 to 5:30 on Monday to Friday. There is a Google form. If you think that nobody is I still haven't got the answer to the question that I had in my mind, you can open up this Google form and you can fill this up. Apart from that, we also have the daily office hours. You just have to click on this link. I will get into this Meet link and I will be able to support you one-to-one. So this is, like I said, from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. Monday to Friday. So you just have to click on this Monday to Friday, 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. and you will see somebody sitting there to support you, and most probably I will be there to support you. So these are the help things, that help desk things that Manu, Pramukda, Kajal, Pooja, they have set for you, and we have got you covered. What you need to do is just understand the curriculum and get the children to do it, understand it, and you will get your certification in a jiffy. We are looking at you becoming ambassadors for this program, and the more ambassadors we have in the Indian classroom, it's more kudos for CBSE, Google, and for Mahattattva. So I'm going back to the deck. This was the website, and I'm just going to show you a few more things. We have covered the basics. We have covered what the program is. We've done the overview. I have shown you the website. I have shown you where to go for help. And now I will show you the logistics of running this program. So a lot of you would have seen that the resources that are available along with this program to be used in the classroom, they are on Google Slides. And there is something known as Pear Deck, which is appearing in the Google Slides. So if you see this, there is the Pear Deck. If you see this, there is Pear Deck. Now, the pandemic has shown us and taught us a lot. A lot of you will already know what Google Slides are and what Pear Deck is. But for the benefit of those who don't, I'm just going to give you a small demo on what this is and how you can use this resource, which is there available on the resources document. So here it is. They are here, the interactive slide desk, which you need to click on and use it with your class. So when you click on this, you will go on Google Slides. So how will you make sure that you can make the full advantage of this? So take the full advantage. So if you look at this, I'm on a tab right now, and I've opened up a new tab, and I have logged in with my Gmail ID. So you can see my Gmail ID, my mahattattva.in ID is a Gmail ID. So you can see that I'm already logged in. So please check that you are logged in here. Once you see that you are logged in on the Chrome with your Gmail ID, you will see these 9 dots here. So if I click on the 9 dots, I can see a whole lot of apps which I can use for my teaching and learning. But right now I'm looking at slides. So I will click on slides. All the resources you have are on slides. So you will see that these slides open up like this. And here I can see that this slide is already there. This is lesson 1. And this is how your resource will also open up. Okay. So right now it is view only. You can make a copy of that in your deck, and you can go ahead with using that one, and this will stay as a copy on the on the folder where we have shared it with you. So if I look at this one here, I'm sorry, if you look at this one here, you see this is a copy, and this, if you check, it's in my drive, right? So it will stay with me. So it's in my drive, and I have it open here. Now here it is reminding me that I have to have the Pear Deck on my Google Slides. So if I go on to a Google slide as is, here I take a blank presentation, you'll see that this is how it looks like. I've opened up a template which was already created for you with everything that you need for the classroom. Everything is there. But when you open up a new one, you will see that it comes as blank like this. Now, when you have to create slides, and especially on this one where you need to use Pear Deck along with this, because here what will happen, the children will come in and they will be able to interact with all these slides. That's what Peer Deck does for you. It makes your slides interactive. So how do you get Peer Deck onto your Google Slides if you don't have it, if you don't already have it? So you will go on add-ons, and from add-ons you will go on to get add-ons. So I'm clicking on get add-ons, and here you can see there is a search. So here I'm going to look at Peer Deck. So I'm looking for Peer Deck. So I will look for it, and it gives me that this is the app that I'm looking for. So I click on it. Right now it is giving me an uninstall notification because I already have it on my slides. But for you, it will say install. If you don't already have it, it will say install. You install it. After you install it, you will be able to see it here. There it is, Peer Deck. So when you open up Peer Deck from here, so this is your deck, and you have opened up, this is your Google Deck, and you have opened up the Peer Deck. You will be able to see, you can start the lesson from here. And why does it say it for me? Because I'm already logged in Peer Deck as well. So when you start this for the very first time, it will ask you to log in. Just make sure that when you are logging in your Gmail, use the same Gmail for Peer Deck as well. So then they marry each other. And when you open up the Google Deck, it opens up Peer Deck here along with the same ID, and it starts working on your Google Deck as well. So one thing to remember is the same Gmail ID for your deck and for your Peer Deck. So once that opens up, you will be able to see all these things become interactive. You can call the children up on this screen, or even if they are at home, and they can do this activity and submit it. So these are the things, the logistics that you need to know to run the program. And with that, I'm going to start with what the program is now. I purposely wanted to get you to be comfortable. So I've told you the how, what are the resources, where are the resources, where is your support. I want you to be in a very comfortable, non-threatening sort of an environment to be able to execute this program that we call Be Internet Awesome. So your resources are set. I've told you where all you can connect with us to be able to implement this program in your schools. I've also told you what are the resources and how to use the resources which are given there for you. And now the program. As I have told you, Be Internet Awesome consists of 5 units. So there is Share with Care, there is Don't Fall for Fake, there is Secure Your Secrets, there is It's Cool to Be Kind, and finally, When in Doubt, Talk It Out. So these are the 5 units that we are going to be, looking at in these 2 webinars, and then you will use the ammunition in the curriculum booklet, and you will go into the classrooms, you will charge into the classrooms, and you will implement this program. There are 3 units that we are going to discuss, the first 3 units before the end of today's webinar, and then day after tomorrow when we meet, we will discuss a little more of the logistics, and then the 2 units which are left. So if you look at the 5 units, there are 5 elements that the program or the curriculum looks at. So the first unit looks at being smart. How do you get the children to understand their digital footprints? So how do you make sure that the children understand what digital footprints are? Even something as writing a WhatsApp message is something which is recorded, done and dusted. It's something you cannot, if the number of hours haven't gone by, it is something which is gone and it will stay somewhere in the cyberspace. So how do you actually make sure that you are critically thinking before you are sharing or you are writing something to somebody? So how do you get the children to be smart? Then we have in the second unit, how do the children get to be alert? So what is that gut feeling? How are the children going to say, okay, this is something which is looking suspicious. This is something that I need to talk to an adult about. So how do you get smart? How do you get alert? Then we have the word which comes in, which is as the word in itself, strong. How do we get the children to be strong? How do we get strong in the sense, how do we get their access to be strong? So it talks about privacy, it talks about passwords, it talks about, how do we make sure that your data which is in the cyberspace is protected and it is there for just you. Then we talk about, being kind when we are online. How do we get online? So when you talk to the little children, and I remember having taught in the national curriculum for England for 6 years, when we used to start teaching the children, we used to talk about the real world and the virtual world for children as small as 5 years, because for them to understand that this is a playground which is on a screen, and the playground which you play outside is something which is a physical space and it's separate. So if you meet somebody online, that person may or may not be what this person is, who this person actually is. So how do you get the children to understand that this is something which is an interface, and you can't get away with saying you are not nice or I don't like you because there's a screen in the middle? So what do you teach them? That in real life, IRL, you have to behave as you would in real life. So how do you interact with the children who are looking at you? They are looking up to you, and getting you to be in that position to explain to them as to what is something which is right on the internet and something which is not right on the internet. So how do you get them, how do you empower them to make those choices? And also this unit touches up on cyberbullying, and it talks about how that's not a nice thing to do. And finally, it talks about being brave, that it is okay that if you find something objectionable, if something is online which is making you uncomfortable, it is all right for you to reach out to an adult. So that is the essence of the entire program, and you will see that these 5 facets actually cover everything that a child needs to know when they are online. So how do you progress in this? You will see that in module 1, which is Be Internet Smart, and you remember the word which it said was smart related to it. How do you share with care? So if you look at this very, very closely, the entire curriculum is what are you sharing, with whom are you sharing, what are the consequences, how are you going to make sure that something which shouldn't be disclosed to people outside, how will you make sure that that is kept with you and not put online? So how do you connect with the world? How is everything that you put online a digital footprint? How important it is for you to, when you go online, when you share online, and whom do you share it with? How do you make that decision? So all of that comes in that. And please have a look at the flow. It's done beautifully. So there's a thought, the theme which it tells you what this entire thing is all about. It gives you an overview of the lessons with the activities which are there for you. It explains the crux of the entire unit. It talks about the goals. So these are the goals which you must share with the children. So we are doing unit 1. The unit 1 is going to get you to be smart, and these are the things that you must understand. How do you create and manage a positive reputation both online and offline? Very important for them to understand that you can't get away by saying things online and saying it's okay just because there's a screen, nobody can do anything to me. You have to get them to understand in today's world that's a no what you are saying in real life. So imagine whatever you are talking to a person, imagine that person is in front of you, and just because you can shut the screen off is not something you can get away with. So how do you create that reputation online and offline? How do you respect privacy boundaries, not only of yours but of others as well? Very often you see that children sometimes forget to log off when they're using devices, and There are people who will go there and they will log off the person before they start. And there are some children who will have this urge of seeing what this person has been doing and getting onto there. So how do we get the children to understand that that's not the right thing to do? So give them exemplars, give them activities which are there in this booklet, and we will be seeing this on Friday, and get them to understand that digital footprint is something which is there for life. And how do you ask? So this theme, asking an adult, almost runs through the book. So if you have a problem, if you see something which is objectionable, if you see something that you're not comfortable with, find an adult to talk to. And who's that adult in school? It's you. So if your school is actually looking at getting all the teachers getting certified with this program, that's an amazing thing, because each one of you will understand what this program is and how to support your children for it. So the goals are there, and the vocabulary flashcard is there, the lesson flow, how do you set the goals for children, how do you have a discussion point. You will see this in the book. It's structured exactly the same way. There are goals for the children. There is something that you can do while you can talk. Even what you can discuss with them is given to you. There are some activities which are slotted for you, and then there is a takeaway. This scenario here, which I am showing you, is part of the booklet. So here it talks about, and you can have this stop and think activity, or pair share activity in your classroom, where you can get the children together and you can give them this problem and then take responses from them. So you are in your house and everybody is working on your mom's tablet, and that mom's tablet is logged in, and one of the children has gone ahead, one of the child has gone ahead and ordered something from your mom's tablet, and a few days later that tablet arrives home. So get multiple perspectives. The idea is for the children to start thinking critically about these various life challenges which can come in anybody's life. So you have to get them to talk, to understand, and very carefully, like a brilliant teacher, like you always do in your classroom, get them towards a common knowledge as to what this scenario means. So this is picked up straight from the book, and we will see this on Friday as well. And you end the unit with the interlinked game. These characters don't have a gender. They are called it, and they are internauts. And you can, get the children to play these games, be internet smart, be internet alert, strong and kind, and get them to get their own certificates on this as well. In the same way, you will see the next unit is alert. And here again, it gives you as a teacher, it gives you what is this unit about. So what are scams? What is phishing? So, you've won, 1 million rupees and click on this link. So how do you get the children to understand that this is something which is fake, and it will just take away all the data on your phone, which is readily available, and you have given access because you clicked on that link. So how do you control whom you are in contact with online, and make sure that the people that you're talking to, how do you make sure that the people you're talking to are actually who they are? And this unit also talks about the information that you are using. How do you make sure that that is credible? So how do you make sure that this is something which you can use in your resource, in your research paper? What is this source? What is the resource? How do you use it? Making sure that this is the resource that you are looking for. So what is this unit about? It's about what's real, what's fake, what's winning, what's free, testing your, critical thinking, trusting your intuition. So all of that comes under this, and you will see the flow in the chapter falls about the same. So it gives you the lesson overview, it gives you the theme, it gets you the goals for the student, and in this case, it is for the children to understand that what people tell you online isn't necessarily true. Learn how the scams work. So what is phishing? What is catfishing? How do the children get to know that? And there are some amazing activities in the booklet to actually physically do it in the class, and for the children to understand. And how do they make sure that there are fake prizes online, and how do they don't fall into that net. So that's for the children. And then you have the vocabulary. You see similar, the entire unit is done very systematically in a similar way, so that the children also know that we've done this, now we have to do the vocabulary, now we have the let's talk activity, we will do the the game or the activity that the teacher has planned, and then we are going to do a plenary where the takeaway will be done. And in the plenary or in the activity, these amazing scenarios are given, which you can use very comfortably and very easily. You can change the context though, because you will see that some of them have euros or pounds or whatever written on it, on the scenarios. I just changed this to INR. Maybe the cash award is not too much, but just to give you a clear understanding as to what kind of scenarios you can do. And when I said that this curriculum is from class 3 up to class 2 up to class 12, is the essence of the entire program is just the same. If you change the scenarios, you will be able to very well contextualize it to any of the classrooms that you are looking for. And finally, there are these handouts, and I was talking to you about credible and non-credible sources. So there are these, this is but of course for older children. So you, from 6 to class 12, you can get the children to understand the questions that they need to ask when they are looking at a particular source for their research paper. So how do they decide what is credible and what is not credible? So these kind of handouts and activities are there in ample. And of course, the last thing in unit 2 is for the children to go on to the online space and do this game, wherein they can get certified, a beautiful certificate once they are done with the scenarios. These scenarios also, they do two things actually. They are multifold. They get the children to understand that they have understood the goals that the teacher had spoken about right at the beginning. So there is self-reflection and self-assessment by the student. What it also does is, very subtly, all through the questions, there are some questions that need to be solved. So there is critical thinking, there is communication, there is problem solving, mostly problem solving, where you have to help the internauts do certain things. So it does not just take care of cyber security. It does other skills as well. It's fully integrated with other 21st century skills. So you can actually get the children to do this. And I am telling you, I've seen children work on these games. They are much quicker and smarter than any one of us in this age. They run these games beautifully because of their access and awareness of the cyberspace. We just need to make sure that when they go onto this cyberspace, they are safe. That is our only duty. As a teacher, as an educator, as a principal, as a director of a school, when we are looking at these children in front of us, we have to make sure that they make the most of what is available online, but they do it judiciously. So this was unit 2. In unit 3, I told you this is one of the most popular units because here the children talk about passwords and how can we make a very nice password. And I remember in the pilot, one of the teachers had done a role play on this, and they had made capitals and characters and numbers and symbols and all of that, and they had moved the children around for them to understand which password is easy to make, which one is difficult to make. So this is something that you can do, and visually it's a treat. The older children can do it for the smaller ones. Whatever you think works best for your school, whether it's in an assembly or it's just in the class, just the sections of a particular class. It's up to you. But here we talk about be internet strong, we talk about a strong password, and we talk about how can we get the children to create these passwords. So basically looking at how do they stay, how does their data stay safe online. So this is something that you can do with your children. So again, it follows the same format. It tells you what this unit is all about. It gives you the overview. It gives you the themes, the goals for the students. Very important for you to share it with the children. Share the goals, share them with the children so that they know what they are going to be doing in this unit. So just gets them excited and more expectant as to what's going to come on in the sessions. So you talk about the various passwords, the vocabulary related to getting a strong password, the flow, lots and lots of activities, scenarios which are in the booklet, and we will be, like I said, seeing it on Friday, and what's the takeaway for the children. Here I have added one activity wherein I spoke about, and this is from the book. I have shared my password to the social media account. So what are the repercussions? What's going to happen? So the children discuss this. So these 5 things would be enough for you to last a 40 minutes as to what the children are saying or talking about it. Or you could give this to them in a sheet wherein they write their responses and the peers add theirs, and finally you can get them to do a presentation. So this is the end of unit 3, and also the end of our session today. So if you look at the website, look at the resources, the assessments, and the FAQs for today in the evening when we are done, we will be pretty much ready with the webinar 2, wherein we will be discussing more in depth about these resources in the booklet. So we will open up the booklet and we will look at these resources together in the webinar, so you get a clear idea as to what has to be executed in the classroom. So that's it from me. We have given you a very clear idea as to what this program is. We've given you the support that is available. For me, that is very, very important, that everybody, each one of you, feels supported to implement this program, because we have just one aim. You and I have just one aim, is that student, that particular student, and that along with that student, every student in the classroom, in each of our classrooms, is empowered with this knowledge. And when this child wants to increase his or her knowledge, she goes online and she or he has this amazing sort of a background as to what is right and what is wrong when I'm going online. So that's our major aim, one aim. For this entire program, there's this one aim for that student in your classroom. So make sure that you give it its full thrust. My respect for the teachers has always been there, but it'll grow many folds if some of you can go out of your schools as well. Not only the 100 children, but the school which is next door, and the children are going on their parents' mobiles. Each child in our country has now access to a mobile device with internet on it. So be that teacher who's gone ahead and trained many, 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 many students, and our Indian students are empowered with these resources. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining in. And it's been a pleasure, as always, talking to you. But as you know, I prefer one-to-one. So a lot of you should come up in the follow-up meetings, and I look forward to talking to you on a one-to-one basis. Have a lovely evening, all of you. Bye-bye.